Spurs fans, the NBA draft is less than 2 weeks away. But instead of doing more rumor mill, conjecture, etc. in the future, we're going to take a look at the past. What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports, TGIF. And I caught an article from Air Alamo this morning talking about the Spurs' worst 5 picks since drafting Tim Duncan. I'll be doing a live reaction to this top 5, though I do know number 1. It was the article's main pick, and quite frankly, I think we all know number 1. After that, though, I do fully expect to see Luka Samanic. He was a 19th overall pick. I think Lonnie's going to be there. He was an 18th overall pick. Probably Malachi Branham, a 20th overall pick. James Anderson, a 20th overall pick, which, to be honest, I had to look up the Spurs draft history to find him. And then as far as other guys that were in the top 20, there's not many since Timmy. Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, I don't think they should not be on this list. Absolutely not. I also do not expect to see any second rounders like DeJuan Blair, etc. Second rounders, expectations should be low. So that's it. Let's get into the article. Who's your top 5? Top Spurs 5 busts draft-wise since Tim Duncan. Before we get into it, pause the video. Anyway, while the Spurs have historically done an excellent job finding talent in the draft, it hasn't always been pretty. They have plenty of hits, but they also come with harsh misses. True. These are the 5 worst picks by the Spurs since Tim Duncan. These selections are primarily based on expectations and how much the player failed to live up to their draft height. And I gotta think draft position needs to be a part of this equation as well. There we see number 1, Joshua Primo, the 2021 number 12 pick. The universal reaction from Spurs fans was, who? Because most of us either didn't know who he was or it was a shock that he was drafted in the lottery as he was projected to be around a pick number 25. What do they have to say about Mr. Primo? Based on expectations and draft position, Joshua Primo was the Spurs' worst draft decision over the past 2 decades. Yeah. Really don't have anything else to say about him. I was looking up his game log, and I remember with Primo, take away the off-course incident, he wasn't really that good while he was here. And overall in his career, as limited as it has been in the NBA, lifetime shooting splits 37, 30, 75. But do you guys remember this? That one big hype moment his rookie season, not summer league, not preseason, but I remember he had this huge defensive game. So I looked it up, Basketball Reference again. His rookie year, December versus the Phoenix Suns, he had 3 steals and 4 blocks in a game. I got TSR, what's the big deal? That's good for a rookie, right? 3 steals, 4 blocks. He only played about 18 minutes. And I remember I made a hype video after that. I'm like, Joshua Primo's here, and then he was gone. So Joshua Primo, clearly the number 1, not even since Tim Duncan, the Spurs' worst draft pick of all time. I know a lot of you say, TSR, maybe it could have been something special. I didn't see it on the court except for small little blips here and there. And since he left the Spurs, he hasn't done anything. I mean, he can't even catch on in G League. So that tells you his level of talent was overstated by the front office, and it was a bad reach. And that's the worst one. Who's number 2? Is it Samanic? Is it the sandwich master himself? Oh, I thought, okay. I honestly don't remember this dude. It says that much about his career. Nola Mulletinov, 2015 pick number 26. All right, so this was a first rounder. I really don't remember him. So let's see what they have to say. It's not often you see a first round pick never touch the NBA court. Oh, wait a minute. This is the guy that keeps getting his draft rights moved around, I think. Yet that was the case for Nola. Not only did he never play in a regular season game, but did not participate in NBA-related events. That's probably why I don't remember him. He hasn't played a second in the NBA. Coming from overseas, had to make the difficult transition to not only the NBA, but the brand new culture of the U.S. Because of that, he was seen as a rare draft and stash selection where he would continue playing overseas until he was ready. He's apparently still not ready. I forgot about this dude. You guys remember this guy? I'm sure I'm butchering his name. Nola Mulletinov. If it is who I think it is, I remember we had a draft and stash guy. It must be him. He's still not, his rights must be gone by now, right? 10 years ago? Shockingly, Mulletino's fate was determined by the Spurs, not by his own merit. He stated, they were never serious about taking me, and I can't go there by myself. All right, so we're going another late first round pick. I forgot this guy too, Olivio Jean Charles. So this, if I'm stumbling my words a little bit, there's players on here I clearly did not expect to see. Okay, how about there you go. How about another player who never touched an NBA floor? While Mulletinov never even attended any NBA activities, Olivio Jean Charles did. Another dart throw from overseas. Jean Charles simply did not work out. He was drafted to be stored on the roster while continuing his work globally and eventually transitioning to the NBA roster. That never happened. After 3 years playing overseas following his drafting, he participated in the Spurs Summer League in 2016 and was ultimately sent down to the Austin Spurs. Just a year into his time with Austin, Jean Charles was headed back to Europe and would never return to the Spurs. So he never played a minute in the NBA, not a second in the NBA. So 2 times we've got burned by foreign players. Oh, wait, I see another one. There he is, the sandwich. Unleash the sandwich. Luka Samanic, 2019 pick number 19. I remember doing a live reaction to that. That was the first year of this TSR Sports channel. It was actually the sports reaction at that time. And I didn't know who he was. This was another Primo moment. I was like, who? Kellen Johnson, pick number 29. Loved it. If you guys don't remember, this is the same draft as Kellen Johnson, but Luka at number 19 in 2019. What do they have to say? Luka Samanic was yet another risky overseas pick by the Spurs that did not turn out well. Hastily succeeding at a young age in Europe, Samanic had high upside as a floor-spacing forward, but saw his NBA career cut short soon after it started. Samanic struggled to see the floor in his first 2 years in the NBA, but found some breathing room on a poor roster. Despite the opportunities, he failed to show enough to warrant a roster spot and was quickly cut by the Spurs in 2021. Because I fully expected the Sandwich Master to be on this list, if you guys don't remember, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was a preseason game, and he gave up on a call, and that was that. What was the play? You guys remember this? Spurs turned the ball over, fast break, Samanic. Yeah, I'm not going to chase him down. Look at this. Like, dude, we have seen players get blocked from behind, and he was gone. I remember calling that game, talking to you guys. I'm like, watch, he's going to get waived the next day or two. I think it was the very next day. Samanic, see ya. And I just noticed this today, Spurs fans, reliving this video. I think it was Joshua Primo that caused the turnover. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is him, right? You got to catch it quick, but it looks like number 11. I think that's Joshua Primo that caused the turnover. So Joshua Primo not only contributed to himself getting, released by the Spurs, but also Luka Samanic. I mean, Samanic played his part by giving up on the play. But how about that? Irony. Sandwich, we miss you. Well, I don't miss you. I miss yelling Sandwich. I was really rooting for that kid the few years he was here, but man, he sucked. Well, he's even in the NBA anymore, is he? And last but not least, okay, this is the one I had to look up on Basketball Reference, the Spurs draft history. It is indeed James Anderson, the 2010 number 20 pick. So Malachi Branham escaped this list, and Lonnie Walker did too. I mean, Lonnie had some good moments, but I figured he was an 18th pick, so maybe expectations would be higher. Nope, they round out the list with James Anderson. All right, what do you have to say? Opposed to the several overseas players the Spurs took a wager on, Anderson was fresh out of college and held expectations of translating well to the NBA. But those expectations were brutally wrong. I looked up his stats real quick. I believe his shooting splits were abysmal. Anderson was a prominent scorer at Oklahoma State University and looked to continue his reign in the NBA. He made a real name for himself in college, earning an All-Big 12 selection in his freshman year. However, once he made it, his scoring vanished. After struggling in his 2 years and starting just 4 total games, the Spurs traded Anderson to Houston and washed their hands of the miss. Notable players drafted after Anderson: Jordan Crawford, Quincy Poindexter, and Hassan Whiteside. All right, that's the list from Air Alamo. My question to you, Spurs fans, do you agree? Are those the top 5? Do you remember every player we talked about? My memory's a little rusty on some of these guys, admittedly. And, I guess once a Spur, always a Spur, but if you never played a second for the Spurs of the NBA, I'm probably going to forget you very quickly, and I certainly did that with a couple of guys here. Very curious on who you remember. Do you agree with the list? Do you think somebody like Lonnie Walker should be on the list? Or Malachi Branham? Are you putting Devin Vassell and Jeremy Sochan on the list already? I'm very curious how you guys are going to respond to this video. A different kind of video, but I really wanted to get off the trade rumor, draft rumor stuff. We've just been being beat over the head of it. There's a million videos by other channels. There's quite a few on here. I was like, I just want to do something different. I know this is a video that's not going to get a lot of views, because it's not wow, wow, there's news type of thing. But I just want to talk about something different. Sure, maybe a little more of a negative not negative, but things that didn't go well right for our Spurs. But you know what? It happened. You got to address it and hope we don't make the same mistakes in this draft. Do not reach on any players. No draft and stash guys in the first round. Take guys that can contribute immediately or at least maybe be backups in year 1 or year 2 at the latest. That's all I got, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. Thank you, and as always, go Spurs, go. Go Spurs, go. 'Cause the Giants